Well, hey guys, got some weird stuff for you today. Enders Speed Razor, the blade's right there. Mystic Water Sandalwood, not too weird. This tiny little brush, it's a Thader, HL Thader, silvertip. This is another one that I found, one size bigger than the one I tried a couple weeks ago. I think this is the size 1. And I like that other one so much, but it's so small that I found this one at a good price. So I picked it up, looking forward to trying it out. It's a silver tip, 3-band. And then, weirdness, Enders Speed Razor. How about that? We'll look at that more closely in a little bit. Get my face a little wet. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my pre-shave routine. Works for me. You may need something different. Your skin or hair may be different. Where maybe you need, I've heard that a glycerin soap wash is a great way to start. Get the oils off your face, that sort of thing. Prep your beard and all that. I've heard that's popular. I don't think for many people, the shave oils, pre-shave oils are, I don't think that's usually necessary, and sometimes it can gum up your razor and or brushes. So that can actually be a little detrimental sometimes. All right, let's look at this Enders Speed Razor. The blades come in that little box that I showed you, and they're called the Speed Razor. It's called the Speed Razor, I assume, because you just take this blade out of the little envelope. This is the underside of the head of the razor. You put it in there. You just push it in until, previously I've kind of gotten a snap. Yeah, there we go. Now is there a little, yes, the snap comes from a little lip right here and here. And so as long as the back goes underneath that lip, then you're good. And so then it's easy to pull it out. There's no moving parts, nothing to unscrew, anything like that. So Speed Razor, pop it in, go. All right. So there we go. Now there's a couple of models. There's this kind with a squared off end on the handle. And then there's a kind with a little bit more of an ergonomic look to it where it doesn't have this corner right here. This one came in a box called the Enders Special Speed Razor. So maybe this is the special model, and the other kind with the cutoff is the normal Speed Razor. I'm not exactly sure. And I believe the other model, the smoothie kind, comes in some different colors. But that's all really I know about it. What led me to this razor is because this is the stock Enders blade. You can see how it comes there. This is an Injctr. It has a blade, and as you can see, the widths are pretty darn close. And so I have this Enders Speed Razor because a respected person online told me and the public that one of the best Injctr shavers out there. This one, okay, but I only had one shave with it. One of the best Injctr shavers out there was actually not an Injctr, it was the Enders Speed Razor. And you take and you dull the blade or file it back so that it recesses a little bit, and then you can fit the Injctr blade that is inside here. You can fit that blade in between the actual blade that I put in and this top plate here, and then put the edge right up front, and that's the most magical, best shaving Injctr out there. And it's customizable because you can put the edge as close to the comb here as you want. So that's why I have this Enders Speed Razor. Well, this model, I bought it on eBay. And the great thing is they're very inexpensive on eBay. You should be able to get one of these guys for $10 or $15. And I watched it for a long time. just kind of waiting because I could afford to be patient. And so, but this one didn't come with any blades. Well, I found some blades through another channel, and all I needed was one, and it even could have been a vintage one that had been dulled but for use, that kind of thing. But it turns out that what I found was even better than that. Brand new blades. So my experimental part of me that wants to try that Injctr blade, and there has to wait and be held back until I experience this Ender's blade, because why waste that experience? Well, just to show you, here's what the blade looks like. It's got these little things, or these little tabs here on the end are what come out of this right here, and that splits up. The blade goes in under this plate, and these little tabs go above the end shelves here. And it's actually very, very rigid. I would guess it might be twice as thick as a double-edged blade. Very rigid. And so it's possible that it could, last a long time. If you had some kind of custom stropper or something like that, you might even be able to do that to it. The old stock blades are available, obviously, but they're kind of expensive. But if you like the way this shaves, maybe that's worth it to you. So anyway, let's try this guy out, see how many shaves we can get out of an Ender's blade. Then whenever I'm done with it, I will put an Injctr blade in it, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so my Thader has been soaking. This is the size 1. I believe the model number is the 4125. And that, I believe, will tell you a little bit about the handle. This is a hexagonal, octagonal. And I think you'll see some Shave Max out there with this same handle. And I think it's a very comfortable handle for use. Face lathering obviously is its forte because it's small and short. And I will get my fingers soapy as I bowl lather this. All right, so Sandalwood Mystic Water. This guy is an oddball because Mystic Water is a little strange. Slickness is tremendous with this soap. I cannot recommend it highly enough. I think it competes with most soaps out there, but it's a little finicky. But it's, once you know how to do it, it's not a big deal, okay? You just don't add water right away is the secret. And then once you start adding it, you add it slowly. And that's all. So let's do a 20-second load. Hard water as usual, tepid, shaking most out of it, out of the brush here. There we go. And then we'll do a 20-second load. We'll start at the 0 mark on the video. There we go. Mystic is a smaller company. She has lots of scents to choose from. A lot of them are on the lighter side, and so unfortunately many of the ones that I tried were a little bit too light for me to keep around. And there's 20. Now look at that. All that liquid soap just kind of showed up. Didn't take much water. And who knows, I may discover I should have maybe used a drier brush than this, but we'll see. I'm just going to rinse out the tin, the threads mainly on the outside of the tin, so that they don't get soap buildup. Okay. Now, without adding any water to the situation here, I'm going to start working it. Rudd's Shaves recently did a write-up on Mystic Water. Different scent. Oh, that's nice. I decided to do this because I just did one of my favorite Sandalwoods yesterday, and that was Lather and Wood. It's one of my favorites because it's a good performing lather, not super popular among folks. You don't see it tons. Actually, I can't recall ever seeing anybody use it, but on the like Reddit and stuff. But I got it years ago, and I think it's still on Amazon. And nice performing lather and a really authentic sandalwood scent. And so I thought, while that is still in my head, let me go ahead and use this Mystic Water Sandalwood, because I'm a big fan and I want to keep a list of the good sandalwoods, and so now I'll be able to know where I can put Mystic Water on that list. It's a nice authentic sandalwood, kind of like the Lather wood. It smells to me like maybe it's not going to be as strong of a scent, but we'll see. So I haven't added any water to this, and look at the lather. I mean, we've already got something resembling a lather that many people might consider workable. Okay, and that's the secret. That's the secret to make Mystic Water right there. Just don't add water very soon. Don't come at it with a wet brush, and that's what a lot of soaps can tolerate, but not this one. Okay, just come at it with just a damp brush only, then start to add water. So now let's very nice. And I believe once you get it to this stage where it, it kind of looks like a lather already, I believe you can go ahead and add water a little bit more aggressively, but let's just see if that's true. See if I've just killed my lather or not. Now it looks like it's integrating nicely, normal, kind of behaving more like a normal lather now. So you just kind of have to ease it in. And yeah, my fingers are just entrenched in soap. But you know what? That the feel I got from that zero size fader brush, very, very nice, and it's what made me think of going ahead and picking up, finding a bigger size. But with that one, you got to really wait for deals because they're expensive. So it may take a while of waiting and hunting. And so yeah, this handle is a little bit on the slippery side when it gets all soapy. We'll put a little bit of this as kind of a pre-shave. Break up some of the oils in my skin, maybe. Let's feel this lather might be ready to go after just a teaspoon of water. Can always add more water later. We'll just go ahead and we'll mix it for just a little while longer and then maybe use it. It looks a little dry, a little stiff, if you will. See how it's kind of keeping its shape? It's kind of a rough shape. It's not really a smooth shape. So I might go ahead and add a little bit more water. Hopefully I didn't add water too quick. Forgot to look at my notes on. I've got Irish Traveler, which is kind of a green Irish tweed clone, I believe. Something briar tobacco or greenbrier tobacco is a really neat pipe tobacco kind of scent. Sweetbrier tobacco maybe. Really like that one. She's got some really nice scents, but unfortunately the scent strength was so low that many of them I just couldn't really enjoy during the shave. And so even though I really liked what was there and I could get it in my nose if I stuck my nose into the bowl, I just, I'm glad I got it as a sample so I wouldn't have to worry about trying to move that tub to somebody else. But good news is there are a lot of people out there who need lighter scents because they have skin allergies or irritation issues or something like that. So this is a tremendous base. Yeah, this lather is looking great, as you can see. Sometimes maybe if you feel like getting messy with a lather, then a shorter brush like this is going to help you do that. So 2 teaspoons in the lather. And I believe we'll try this. A little bit different in terms of the scent than the Sandalwood I tried yesterday, the Lather and Wood. A little sharper, a little drier. I like it. I like it as well. It's just different. Plenty of lather to do the job, so 20 seconds is, at least with this brush, is looks like a good amount. Plenty of lather time, soap building time. All right. Again, I'm going to use this to not let it go to waste. All right. A little water on my face. And let's see how this brush feels. Oh yeah, very soft. Not a brush for those of you who like a lot of scrub. And I think the reason these knots have to be so small is because these bristles are probably be too floppy if they were allowed to be longer at a higher loft. Nice soft tips, and I'm pretty sure this brush isn't treated. You know, the tips haven't been bleached, that sort of thing. So this handle is very slippery because of all the soap that's going around, but the octagonal pattern got a pretty good hold on it. Helps. So when you're feeling particularly barbaric. Now I got this soap really wet, and so it's not all that kind of creamy and that sort of thing. I could probably work it a little bit longer and it would start to kind of dry up a little bit and get some cream going. But I think I'm good. I still think it's going to give me a nice performing lather. All right, I have no idea what angle to start with. And so what I'm going to do is kind of start with this base, this top cap here, and start it with it kind of parallel with my skin. Wow, that is really aggressive and rough. Wow, that is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue the shave with that. Wow. And I lowered the, oh, and that is super scrapey right there. That's even worse. Okay, let's move and let's see if we can go very parallel. Okay, that's better. Keeping the blade really parallel with the skin. But it's even where the top plate is kind of touching my skin. That is really rough on the first pass. Well, I'm going to take a pass on that. Well, and I've got my Injctr right here, so why don't we just use it? It's set on a 1. This is an adjustable, a Schick adjustable. So why don't we just go ahead and try him? Much nicer. That is a mild setting. I don't believe I'm getting a very good cut. Obviously, it might be good over the course of 3 passes or so, but let's bump it up to a 5 out of 7, 1 to 7. Wow, so that Ender Speed Razor, whew. Okay, rinse. Okay. As I was rinsing my face, I definitely felt plenty of bristles. So I did mix this lather a little bit on the wet side. That's all right. It's working. So I like this sandalwood. Did I put on a cologne today? I don't think. I'm trying to figure out if there's something interfering or if this is all because of the soap. You know, I want to give you a good evaluation. All right, let's see if this 5 setting will be a little bit definitely feels good and comfortable. It does feel more aggressive. That's good. Used this Injctr blade a few times. So I wonder if this Ender's blade is really rough because it's old. It didn't really look like there was any, you know, rust on the edge or anything like that. It's very firm, so it's not going to have any give if it's a little on the aggressive side. All right, rinse. Now I believe this Injctr blade that I'm using is a Pella blade. I've heard it's not it's not great, but it seems to be doing reasonable right now. Yeah, I like this little brush. I don't know if the rigors of always having such a messy hand while shaving is going to offset the soft feel. And even if I find a larger one, this is the size 1, 24 millimeter, I think, brush diameter, not diameter. Even if I find the longer handle, it's only longer by a few millimeters, you know, the size 2 or 3. So I don't know if that would gain me anything or not. Had a nice rinse and my face felt pretty good. So this blade is giving me a good shave. I only used this razor once before, back in June during the Lather games. Looking good. I think that's the 3rd pass. Rinse. Not really a good shave. So I don't know if I have anybody on hand right now. So we'll just do a 4th pass with this Injctr razor and let that be it. It's a Saturday. All right, just enough lather to do the job. So maybe next time I'll still do a 20-second load and maybe mix it just a little thicker, just a little bit less water. Maybe instead of the full 2 teaspoons, you know. open my handle angle a little bit. Maybe it's not a close cut because my angle for the blade is not quite where it should be. Yeah, this feels kind of like it's doing a better job. All right, very good. Yeah, I feel like maybe I got a little bit of irritation right around here. I'm gonna go in and touch up right there and see if that helps. All right. So enders, wow, I didn't see that being so aggressive. Ouch. So I can see a good bit of length in many tips, and that may be just because this Pella blade is not as good as some other injectors. I think I've maybe used it 6 times or something like that. It's also possible that when it's sliding in and being injected into this head, maybe part of that blade rubs up against one of the guards or something, so that's always possible. But it worked close enough, good enough, and yeah, this would be good enough for work as long as work wasn't too demanding in terms of your beard appearance. And because I had to do an extra pass, I didn't end up with a lot of extra lather. I could probably scrounge up enough here for another pass, so 20 seconds may be about right. I'll just keep playing with that. That's a good soap. I really enjoyed it. I ran it very thin this time, and so I didn't really get to experience a lot of the creaminess that I have in the past. However, my rinses were always nice and slick, but it didn't take forever to rinse away. So that's a nice balance, but just really nice slick rinses. So you know it's performing, it's doing its job. So I don't know about this little brush. Still got a little bit of kind of rigidity in the middle, but it spreads lather really nicely. Fairly comfortable in the splay, easy to splay. I didn't have to work hard to splay it. So you know, this but brushes like my whipped dog silvertip, just so much more comfortable. And then the handle, I'm not just dousing my hands in soap all the time while using it. So maybe I'll just have to pass this on to a face lather, but I'm gonna keep it around for a little while just to be sure. I mean, it's possible I could break off this handle. It just seems like kind of a resin handle, and then be able to expose the knot and put the knot in a new handle. So if I fall in love with the knot, that's a possibility. Now, I don't know if this is a valuable handle. You know, some might regard it as a shame to destroy that kind of thing. However, if I like the knot, then maybe that's up to me, right? It's my brush. So I'll have to think about that. Or if I just feel like it doesn't present as much of a great experience as to warrant, you know, destroying the handle, then I'll just pass it on to somebody else who might like it. And then, because I've got several badgers that I do really enjoy quite a bit. Two teaspoons of water used for that 20-second load. And like I said, might be a little bit on the wet side, but still very serviceable, very slick. The Ender's blade in the Ender's razor, to me, it was almost like a Micromatic from GEM. Very aggressive, very rough. It did reduce somewhat as I raised the handle up to get the blade as close to parallel with my skin as I could, but it was still quite rough. And so I'm thinking if you like the R41, the GEM Micromatic, then this might be one for you to try. But I think most people aren't quite that in need of such rough treatment. This is a daytime shave, spending some time with my wife today, so I'm going to throw on something that she likes. The shave soap may be for me, but the post-shave products are for her. And I like this one too. I'm really glad that we happen to agree. Some other of my favorites are Executive Man from Stirling, which is an Aventus dupe. I really like Aventus. This is Aqua di Gio inspired. I used to like Green Irish Tweed, and I may still, but there are some, maybe the Stirling's formation of it is just a little, I don't know, I'm starting not to like it quite as much as I used to. Don't know why. Well, it was neat to try the Enders. Wow, so aggressive. I got some nice sandalwood smells, not as strong as the Lather and Wood, but it was present and enjoyable. So I think I'm going to put that in my good sandalwoods list, not the ineffectual sandalwoods list. And there's another list where there's so many other things in the recipe that it interferes with the more authentic sandalwood, and that's in its own list there. But this is, I think, is a good one, and performance is good, of course. She has a great plan where you can get samples from Mystic Water, 3 at a time, and you fill it in the comments. It's a little strange. It's different than some other sites, but just read it carefully and you'll be fine. And it's inexpensive, and she gives you a whole half of a chunk. I think maybe 10 shaves you could probably get out of it, so that's nice and generous for a sample. I liked Adirondack Jack. Really nice scent, lots of outdoorsy notes to it, but it was so quiet while I was using it. It smelled great in the bowl, but I couldn't smell it while it was on my face. So I had to sell that one. But she was awesome about it. You can buy the refill pucks if you have a tin already or a container already. You can buy the refill pucks for inexpensive, press them into the bottom, go at it. So I think it's a terrific soap, a good price point too. I think we're good. We're all cleaned up. Anyway, hey, you enjoy your day. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. I hope there was something here for you. Take care.